Hello YouTube. It is Sunday, January 9th, 12:07 p.m. Well, since I'm up and about and I'm on the west side, I may as well go to Bullock's and be productive with my music. To be fair, I probably didn't really give the finish line a chance when I just walked in this time, and hopefully I didn't make a bad impression with the bartender that I have pretty good rapport with, the way I bolted out so quick. But when I got in there just now, it's kind of a continuation of the last video, by the way, so you might want to watch it before watching this one, just so it makes sense. Wasn't particularly having a good time with Priscilla when I went there yesterday. The conversation that I had with the bartender, particularly with the nighttime bartender that I was chatting with at the bar, I felt went really, really well. And it's that conversation that prompted me to come here today. I did mention, that I worked with, that I'd come in for the karaoke, and that I was just really not impressed with what was going on, and it was really dead. Which she commented that she didn't work on the karaoke night, so she didn't know, which is fair.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Wait.
I'm waiting. Anyways, she and I mentioned to her that that I worked with Matt over at Bullock's, and he's there every night that I do karaoke, and that it's usually very, very busy. And she's like, so I was I was sort of hoping that she could that Matt would kind of suggest, to the owner, sorry, I'm having trouble articulating this. That basically, to a bar owner, a karaoke DJ is a karaoke DJ, and everybody's doing karaoke. Plenty of people come in and it's like, oh, well, I DJ, I do karaoke. If you got 10 different people that come in and say they host karaoke and DJ and show business cards, to a bar owner, they're probably all the same. And to be honest, unless you've been to one of my shows or know about me from somebody else, I just look like another person with a business card saying that I do karaoke. If anything, I look a little less impressive than the average person that's coming in with a business card, because I don't really have any kind of social media set up promoting my karaoke. If anything, I have this YouTube channel, which is likely to scare people off. So, and I've been told that I should work on that. It's really not my thing, and it's just not something I'm good at, and I just feel like if I was to do it, that it would come off as just very, very fake and be poorly done. And to be honest, I would rather just simply not do something than to do something that poorly. That's just me. Anyway, at one point in time, Priscilla was supposedly helping me with something like that on Facebook, but I don't think she promotes my stuff on there. I mean, that Facebook group, I think it still exists, but I don't think she promotes me on it as much as she promotes shows that, as much as she promotes Kimmy over at Wander Inn, and then the shows that Sean hosts for Spencer over at it's my brain fart on the name of the bar, over at Gypsy's Roadhouse. But I don't know. I just really want nothing to. I just really, really want nothing to do with Facebook, which seems to be a common feeling of a lot of YouTubers. Although I find it funny how so many YouTubers that want nothing to do with Facebook proudly proclaim in the comments section that, yeah, I don't. I'm better because I'm not on Facebook. I don't do social media. It's like, reality check, dude. YouTube is social media, and here you are doing it. Anyway, that aside, I figure he's likely to give the owner of the bar, and I'm forgetting his name at the moment, But I figure he's likely to give me a little more of his ear if he at least has, one of his bartenders at Barbacks. I'm honestly not sure what Sean does when he works there. Or not Sean, I'm sorry, Matt does when he works there. And to be honest, up until yesterday, I wasn't even sure when Matt worked there. And I've been meaning to ask Matt that. Just at the end of the night, he's busy cleaning up the bar, and I'm just in my zone trying to work on my music and not distract him from what he's doing. So, anyway, I figured kind of my best bet is just if, when I've got the owner's ear, for him to say, for me to point out that, I work with Matt and Matt to chime in, oh yeah, Dan does an amazing show and blah, blah, blah. And that hoping that would actually set me apart from, say, just another person coming in with a business card saying, hey, I host karaoke and you should hire me. Dining room closed due to staffing shortage. Please use drive-through. Still, middle of the freaking day, lunchtime, and I still can't get food at this Taco Bell. My negative review of that place with the picture of that sign I just showed you, I think it's got over 200 views now on Google Maps. Fuck Taco Bell fucking discriminating against people that don't drive. God, I'm sick of that shit. Oh, fucking just makes me so goddamn angry. All right. Just want to get some cheap fucking burritos and a little fucking Baja Blast. Since I don't have a vehicle to go to the drive-thru, fuck me. I'm so tired of being treated like a second-class citizen because I'm not driving. Oh, all right. Where the fuck was I? Anyway, so Sylvia went in and was talking to her, and what the bartender said to me, not the one that was behind the bar because she was actually fairly busy, but the one that works at night that was just kicking at the bar, that apparently my girlfriend got jealous of and decided she'd go out and smoke to make herself less attractive to me. On that note, that bartender's really cute. Throwing that out there. And she said she's 40, so it's been my experience that 40-year-old women tend to have a pretty good sex drive, and Priscilla's sex drive is pretty much tanked. So yeah, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't attracted to her and wasn't interested in her. But that's not what I was there for. I was there just to find out what was, what it would, if I have any, what it would take to get myself in there doing karaoke, and if that's something that's still worth pursuing. Anyway, her advice to me was to come in the, well, what we got going on here? Zoning hearing, rezoning case number, blah, 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 blah. Southeast corner of 19th and Bethany Home. Planned use development will allow retail, office, and multifamily. Change of maximum dwelling units allowed from 0 to no maximum. Hopefully I remember to come back and take a look at this. I would actually love to go, wait a minute. So I would love to go to this meeting, but virtually? No, I want to go to something in person. Fuck this virtual shit. Fuck me being reliant on an internet connection and a bunch of equipment. That's not getting the public involved. Not all public has access to the means to participate virtually. Fuck you, City of Phoenix. Anyway, what that's about is, and there's been talk of this for a while, is a developer has purchased Christown and wants to bulldoze the historic Christown Mall and replace it with a multi-use development, which would mix what would probably be pack and stack, overpriced luxury apartments, which would drive the rent of this area, provided that the whole idea doesn't tank, would drive the rent rate of this area up really high. And at this point, this is one of the more affordable parts of Phoenix that actually has access to transit and rail and stuff. So yeah, I'm I'm bothered about the thought of even destroying Christown Mall. Christown Mall is a historic place. Anyway, I don't do virtual meetings. Fuck a virtual meeting. Anyway, where the hell was I with this? Oh, so I was talking about the bartender over at Finish Line. So she said that my best bet, what she advised I do, was come in the daytime and talk to the owner. It's really bothering me. I can't remember his name, but talk to the owner, and if I come in at that time, that Matt would be working, and come in tomorrow morning. In other words, this morning. And I guess my problem is that for me, morning starts at about 10 a.m. at best, and that's a place that's nearly 2 hours away by bus. So morning, for me to get there in the morning means I'm getting there at almost but not quite noon, which is what time I got there. I didn't even think that Sunday is still very much, for a lot of bars, very much centered around football and loud, annoying football fans. I am not a football fan. In fact, I'm kind of the opposite of a football fan. I don't like the sound of football games. I find it's all the yelling and all the excessive talking over one another to be very nerve-rattling and annoying. I like going in at the bar and hearing the music on the jukebox. Well, when I went in there just now, like an hour ago now, with the transportation leaving, the jukebox was off. There were multiple games with the volume on, so not only like one game to me cranked up is irritating to listen to, but a whole bunch of games being played over the top of each other together is just way too much chaos for my head. All the loud conversations going with it, people screaming at the TVs, because that's what sports fans do. And it was a horrible, uncomfortable situation for me to even walk in there. And it was so crowded, the only place I could find to sit down was at the far end of the bar. There was a Mega Touch machine. Now, I think had I had any paper dollars on me, I could have probably got myself focused enough on playing Word Dojo that I could have kind of tuned out all the football and crowd noise. So I asked. It wasn't the bartender that came up. The bartender did recognize me immediately and said hi to me, which felt good. But then I'm assuming it was the bar back, who wasn't Matt, by the way. I'd have felt a whole lot more comfortable had it been Matt, but it was somebody I didn't know. And he came up and asked if he could help me with anything. I said, I could order a beer, and I've got a credit card. I said, but the Megatouch machine here doesn't take a card, and I don't have any cash. And then he points over at a random third-party ATM, and I've heard some of those. You never really know what those are going to charge for fees, so I generally stay away from them. I don't really have, even if the fee's only $1, I don't feel I have an extra $1 to spend on any extra money to spend on fees. And I've heard some of them having just ridiculously high fees. Yeah, not messing, just as a general rule, I'm just not messing with any out-of-network ATMs. I'm going to a Chase ATM for my to access my Chase account. I'm going to a Wells Fargo ATM to access my Wells Fargo account. So I asked this bar back if he knew where the closest Wells Fargo or Chase branch was. And he proceeds to start fiddling with his phone and looking for one on his phone. I really hate when people do that. If I ask a yes or a no question, do you know something? If you have to look it up, that means you don't know it. The answer is no. Don't pick up your phone. Don't fart around with your phone. Don't make an awkward situation where I gotta sit there and watch you play with your phone. Just tell me no, so I know that you don't know and can move on with your life. I can look it up on my own phone. I'm asking if you know, because if you know, you can tell me. Now, there was a guy sitting to the right of me at the bar. He said that he believed that he didn't know where a Wells Fargo was, but the closest that the closest Chase Bank was at 7th Street in Bell. And I was like, oh, I said, that's quite a ways, so nothing within walking distance. And that's one thing, you know, to people that's close, but everybody just assumes that everybody else is driving. So, yeah, nothing that wouldn't involve doing more bus riding. And I was already feeling kind of uncomfortable in there anyway, just because of all the football noise. I did see the owner. The owner seemed super busy. And then the other thing that made it a little bit more awkward for me was that the TV that was closest to me had a screensaver on, had the volume cranked up, and then it was playing like this just very generic, like background music type jazz, like not even like production music. It's not like real music. It's not like, you know what I mean? Just like elevator, just background on hold music, but it's loud enough I'm having trouble hearing the two people I'm trying to talk to, which I would already be challenged trying to hear, just because of all the football noise and football fan noises and football games. But then I've got this music loudly in my ear, and so I told the guy that was looking up locations, it's like, no, I'm walking. Is there any way you can turn this music down? I mean, what is this music about? Why is this loud, like sugar-free jazz cranked at? Why is this happening right here? At which point he flags the owner down and asks the owner about it. Apparently that's something the owner has to do, not the bar back. And the owner's like, well, there's supposed to be blah 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 game on that, and then so he's handling that, and he seems pretty stressed out about the situation of this game that should be on that TV that's not on that TV. And I just it just became just layers of really uncomfortable. I realized at this point that I felt like I'd already somehow inconvenienced the bar owner and been an annoyance to him by pointing out that one TV was playing obnoxiously loud music and a screensaver, and he was clearly very occupied with, as he should be, with his very busy bar. No music on to calm me down, and just between the football noise and I had no cash, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't see Matt. Bartender's going to be too busy for me to talk to her. The bar owner is too busy to talk to her, and already seems kind of irritated by my presence because I pointed out that his screen was on a screensaver with loud, obnoxious, generic music, and I'm already annoyed by this other bar back who isn't Matt, who couldn't answer a simple yes or no question with a no when the question is, do you know something? And he didn't know. Like, the answer is no. Don't start diddling your phone. I asked you a yes or no question. That requires either a yes or a no. Now, when you say yes, it'd be cool if you told me where they were, but if you don't know, waste my time. I don't want to watch you play with your phone. Tell me no. All of that I at that point was just so incredibly uncomfortable. The bartender walked up to me and was like, hey, could I get you something? And I'm like, you know what, I think I'm just gonna bounce. And she just kind of gave me a funny look, and I bounced out because that was just too much uncomfortable. And then when I walked out, I immediately turned to the right out the door and passed that guy that I followed that got featured in my last video, that was apparently twacked out on some kind of drugs, hunched over in a weird way, shifting through a whole bunch of garbage and then a pile of pennies and shit. I don't know. I'll try to put a link in the description of this video to the and timestamp where in the last video he was. I didn't say anything to draw attention to him because I just wanted to walk by and get him on video without distracting him from whatever the fuck it was that he was, whatever weird drug influence activity he was doing. Just encountering that upon exiting the visit, just exiting the bars, took me from uncomfortable to just disgusted. And so that brings me up to here. Really wanting Taco Bell, not able to get served because I don't have a car, and not the first time I've had that happen. At least I will get good service here at at Carl's Jr., even though I won't be able to get the burritos that I want. At least they've got some decent value burgers here. Anyway, thanks for coming with. Yeah, after I leave here, I'm heading over to Bullock's, because at least it's early enough I can be productive have a good productive day with my music, and at least be in a place where I'm comfortable. And if the football noise gets too annoying, I have really good headphones and my computer, which take me away from it. So anyway, thanks for coming with and listening to me vent.